logging into the program today, I hit a link from you way back when, and now I'm sitting here as a co-host, which I really shouldn't be. Take a look at the participants.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. I thought you were Jim. You came in right with Jim and Chris, and I thought Jim was coming in under Jim, so I made you a co-host.
Oh, you did it. Okay.
I did it. No.
Okay, well, I thought I'd let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was Jim Gould too.
Yeah, I thought Jim came in with Chris. I thought they were coming in because oftentimes they come in on separate computers and they come in on different feeds. And I thought
I should use my nickname, Tall Jim.
Yeah. You were trying to sneak in as a decoy there or something. I don't know. All right.
I just wanted to Zoom bomb you,
Yeah. I think we've got everything going here. Let's see if our feed's going here. There we go. There we go. All right. 3 minutes left. We'll see where we go. Chris, hopefully your internet's sped up from Sunday, eh?
I know what the deal was there. Yeah, I did a test and it was fine, right during actually, or before I tested again today and I reset the connection, but
yeah,
sometimes it's not. You have no control.
You have no control. You're at the mercy of the internet or the internet people.
Signed into the Zoom meeting, and all of a sudden my camera just did not work. I tried all kinds of things, and finally it just showed up again. I have no idea what the heck happened, but that's why I wasn't there for the live feed.
Yeah, us teachers all have to make things break once in a while so people don't feel alone.
Right. Just so we realize, hey, everybody goes through this.
That's right.
Never happens to the pros.
Now that you're co-host.
No, Marshall, he wants me to keep my hand up. Okay.
Yeah, keep your hand up so I can see you. I like to be able to see you. All right, I'm going to mute everybody and we are going to get the show going. Good morning. It is December the 5th. This is Tech for Senior. I'm Ron Brown. I'll be your host today. We're going to have a meeting today, about an hour long. We're going to have some introductions. Bob, of course, is going to do his security news update. We have special guests today, Chris and Jim Gould from Geeks on Tour, and they will be our main program today. We'll be finishing the show with an music outro from Ray Baxter, and then we'll have a question and answer period along with followed with our premiere service I'll talk about in a minute. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you. If you're watching the show today, we really appreciate your enthusiasm and all the support you give us. And if you are watching this as a YouTube short, just click the link and you will be able to watch the show. So today our premiere service is going to be occurring at 1:30, and we have three sections, three videos today I've chosen that we did a year ago. And the first one will be, of course, is I'll be talking on the Portal TV. I must say I've had my Portal TV for about a year now, and we use it all the time. So that was the video I did on Portal TV. Hewie's going to talk on Scam Advisor. So a little bit of information on Scam Advisor. Huey did that about a year ago. And I'm going to talk about, and then the third section is I'm going to talk about what a premiere video is and how you set that up on YouTube. So those are our three selections today that will be occurring at 1:30. I'll be putting a link in the chat. And if you had our Saturday newsletter, you will, of course, be able to, the link was in the Saturday newsletter as well. So this is also being recorded, and we will be able to, you'll be able to listen to this later on this week. We also have our show on Monday, on Thursday. And this Thursday, of course, the gang will be there, and we'll be talking about upgrading your smartphone. When is it time to upgrade your smartphone? That's what we'll be talking about, as well as all the news of the week. And that will all be this Thursday. And if you missed that, we will be, of course, podcasting that out on our Friday edition. So anyway, that's what our plan is this week. I'd like to introduce everybody right now, and then we can get on with the show. I'd like to introduce, of course, Hewie Poplock, my co-host today. We sort of had an easy time today because we got the day off because Chris is doing all the work. So we've had a nice What, you went out for dinner yesterday? You had a nice relaxing dinner, you were telling me.
Oh, absolutely. And a couple of adult beverages to help me relax a little bit more. And boy, did I relax.
There you go. And you didn't even have to worry about the show today or do anything for it.
No, I know, but you know what? It's a busy week for me.
Is it?
Wednesday, I'm doing a presentation for Stug, the Sarasota group. It's going to be the presentation I did here on the smart TVs and how to set it up, and then some free movie websites to stream to that smart TV. That's going to be Wednesday. And then Sunday, I have the Windows Special Interest Group.
Oh,
for
the
Stug and
Wednesday coming up.
CFCS.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the second Sunday of the month. And
right.
we've
That
already
comes
had one
around quickly.
Sunday. Yep.
All
So
right.
it's
So
gonna be a
you're a
busy
busy
week.
guy.
Yep.
Okay. Well, all right, let's move on. Before we get to Bob in a minute, Bob, I will introduce Bob in a second. I just wanted to thank Edith Taylor Richards for Edith's generous donation to our coffee fund. We'll be coming up probably in the new year where we do our annual drive. So thank you, Edith, for your generous donation. We do appreciate that, and that keeps paying the bills. So thanks so much. Bob, you are getting ready for your Hawaiian vacation.
My wife is getting ready. I'm just going along for the ride.
I sense some videos coming about life on a cruise ship.
Yeah, probably. Cruise
Right.
ship and maybe some excursions. Don't know yet. We'll see.
All right. Well,
Right now, I'm the one person who does most of the talking without a voice.
your voice sounds better. I can tell. As a doctor, I can tell you it sounds better.
It may sound better, but it doesn't feel any better.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we won't belabor that. Do you just keep your voice resting? Chris is going to do all the work today.
Oh, I have some work to do today.
You do, but that's being recorded. So you had it so you can sit and relax. Ray, you are music selection, and what's in your life? You're keeping busy?
Oh, always. There's a lot of things going on. I'll tell you quickly. There's a group I belong to that likes to play records and CDs, and they didn't have a home anymore. So we tried an experiment on Saturday. We found a restaurant in Mesa that gave us a private room, and I showed them actually how to use a computer to play the music files they want, and they were amazed.
Ah, there you go. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's great. A lot of snow around your place up in Pine, Arizona?
Nope. It's been mid to upper 50s in the daytime, and it drops in below freezing at night, but no snow.
All right. Now I didn't see, is Bill James in? Is Bill here yet? Or Bill hasn't come in?
Haven't seen him. Nope.
Haven't seen Bill. Okay. And then of course, Mike Ungerman. Welcome, Mike. Mike, of course, is doing his section on EV cars. Welcome, Mike. And for those of you who, of course, saw the Saturday newsletter, the YouTube channel of the channels we put in this week were 3 selections Mike gave us on and it was all about EV cars. Mike, did you want to tell us about those selections?
Yes, Ray and Zach Sifska are a father and son team, and Ray is a retired sales manager for many different car dealerships, and they've put together several YouTube channels which I featured, and it's advice on buying a car, financing a car, maintaining a car, selling your own car. Lots of good information. So 3 different YouTube channels are up there if you'd like to take a look at them.
That's great. Thanks, Mike. That's those were great channels. This is a new feature we've put in our Saturday newsletter. I pick a channel of the week, sort of, that you might find interesting, and also a video out of the channel that you might like. And the one we're going to be featuring next Saturday will be on how, it's sort of in keeping with our theme today of pictures, will be to how to improve your video taking with your smartphone. And there's a really good channel that works on that for you. So you might find that interesting, and you'll see that in our next Saturday newsletter. Bob, I think people are going to want to listen to Chris rather than me. So I think maybe we better get the show going. Do you want to start with your security news update?
Get it started. Here is the last security news roundup for the week ending December 2nd, 2022. U.S. bans Chinese telecom equipment and surveillance cameras over national security risk. The U.S. Federal Communications Commission formally announced it will no longer authorize electronic equipment from Hewie, ZTE, Hytera, Hikvision, and Dahua, deeming them an unacceptable national security threat. All these Chinese telecom and video surveillance companies were previously included in the covered list as of March 12, 2021. The FCC is committed to protecting our national security by ensuring that untrustworthy communications equipment is not authorized for use within our borders, and we are continuing that work here, FCC Chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel said in a Friday order. These new rules are an important part of our ongoing actions to protect the American people from national security threats involving telecommunications. Read more at the Hacker News. Crypto firm BlockFi files for bankruptcy as FTC fallout spreads. Cryptocurrency lender BlockFi, last valued at $4.8 billion, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy yesterday, following this month's collapse of cryptocurrency exchange FTX and its sister firm Alameda Research. BlockFi has more than 100,000 creditors, with the largest 10 creditors alone owing nearly $1.2 billion, including $30 million owed to the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission, according to the filings. BlockFi bankruptcy filing attributes its fall to intertwined finances with FTX and bankrupt cryptocurrency hedge fund Three Arrows Capital, previously one of BlockFi's largest borrowers. Read more at CNBC. Twitter leak exposes over 5.4 million accounts. over 5.4 million Twitter user records containing non-public information stolen using an API vulnerability fixed in January have been shared for free on a hacker forum. Another massive, potentially more significant data dump of millions of Twitter records has also been disclosed by a security researcher, demonstrating how widely abused this bug was by threat actors. The data consists of scraped public information as well as private phone numbers and email addresses that are not meant to be public. Read more at Bleeping Computer. New flaw in Acer laptops could let attackers disable secure boot protection. Acer has released a firmware update to address a security vulnerability that could be potentially weaponized to turn off UEFI secure boot on affected machines. Tracked as CVE 2022-4020, the high-severity vulnerability affects 5 different models that consist of Aspire A315-22, A115-21, and A315-22G, and Extensa EX215-21, and EX215-21G. The PC maker described the vulnerability as an issue that may allow changes to secure boot settings by creating NVRAM variables. Credited with discovering the flaws is ESET researcher Martin Smolar, who previously disclosed similar bugs in Lenovo computers. If you own an affected Acer laptop, update ASAP. See the Hacker News for more. LastPass says hackers accessed customer data in a new breach. LastPass says unknown attackers breached its cold storage using information stolen during a previous security incident from August 2022. The company added that once in, the threat actors also managed to access customer data stored in the compromised storage service. We recently detected unusual activity within a third-party cold storage service, which is currently shared by both LastPass and its affiliate GoTo, the company said. We have determined that an unauthorized party using information obtained in the August 2022 incident was able to gain access to certain elements of our customers' information. LastPass said it hired security firm Mandiant to investigate the incident and notified law enforcement of the attack. It also noted that customers' passwords have not been compromised and remain safely encrypted due to LastPass zero-knowledge architecture. I personally did change my password. Read more at Bleeping Computer. LastPass posted about the breach at the link listed. Sony and Lexar trusted encryption provider leaked sensitive data for over a year. ENC Security, a Netherlands software company, has been leaking critical business data since May 2021. When you buy a Sony, Lexar, or SanDisk USB key or any other storage device, it comes with an encryption solution to keep your data safe. The software is developed by a third-party vendor, ENC Security. Netherlands-based company with 12 million users worldwide provides military-grade data encryption solutions with its popular Data Vault encryption software. As it turns out, ENC Security has been leaking its configuration and certificate files for more than a year, the Cyber News research team discovered. The data that was leaked for over a year is nothing less than a gold mine for threat actors, a Cyber News researcher said. The company said a misconfiguration by a third-party supplier caused the issue and fixed it immediately upon notification. Read more at Cyber News. Email inbox being bombarded with spam. Gmail, the one email service I used to rely on not receiving to spam in my inbox, has begun to get flooded with exactly that, spam. The image above is from one of those emails received just this morning. Now, it isn't your garden variety spam. This is somehow getting through not only Google's primary inbox spam filters, but also continues to appear each day, even if I mark it as spam and choose unsubscribe. I'm not sure why this is happening, but it's starting to become a real problem. Not to mention, it's annoying as hell. Let's hope Google starts to crack down on this spam invasion. See more at Chrome Unboxed. This week's must-read on the Avast blog. Here's Avast's suggestion for 5 quick ways to speed up your computer. You can read the article at the link listed, or you can watch my video on this topic by following the YouTube link. Did you know Hollywood starlet Hedy Lamarr is often called the mother of Wi-Fi? She helped invent a version of the frequency hopping system that led to the creation of GPS, Bluetooth, and wireless internet. The NASA Vehicle Assembly Building in Florida is so huge that it has its own weather. On humid days, rain clouds can form below the ceiling, requiring about 10,000 tons of air conditioning equipment to control the moisture. After hiring a consultant in the early 1990s to help them evaluate possible business opportunities outside of consumer electronics, retailer Circuit City founded used car dealer CarMax. Who knew? I even bought a car from them some years back. Just thought you might want to know. That wraps up this week's Avast Security News Roundup. I know, still no voice. If any of you have any suggestions, why not post them in the comments? Just don't ask me to shut up. It's not going to happen. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Well, thanks, Bob. You know, rest is always good for voices. Not going to happen, though, is it?
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. That was interesting. The Gmail one is annoying. We talked about that on our last Thursday show. Hopefully, they get that fixed. Now let's get on to the main part of the show. I want to introduce Chris. Where do you go again? Put your hand up. I can't see you. Where's Chris and Jim?
Hey.
All right.
There you go. I can see. I like to look at someone when I'm introducing them. You're here. All right. Chris and Jim. First of all, let me talk a little bit about Chris. Chris, of course, is well known internationally for her work she does with Google Photos. She is a Google product expert. Pardon me?
Galactically.
She is a Google product expert and travels and has written a book about Google Photos. And usually she is talking about Google Photos. But she also is an accomplished photographer, and she also understands how to use a smartphone and take pictures with a smartphone. And so I thought the topic today that she would be discussing would be how to take better pictures with your smartphone, not Google Photos. Well, I mean, she might put a little in of Google Photos in there, but that's what she's going to talk about today. She's going to do the whole program, so there will be no. Hewie and I won't be saying anything but enjoying Chris's talk. But Chris reminded me to introduce Jim as well, because of course Jim is the behind scenes guy that does all the work to make her look good. And there she goes, she's gone. So Jim is the mastermind behind Chris's greatness. Or I'm not quite sure how that, anyway, well, we won't go there, but anyway, anyway, we do appreciate you both coming today. We are all ears. We have about just under 90 people and a whole bunch more on YouTube. So you have a big audience today. I'm going to hand it over to you, Chris and Jim, and take it away. I would ask that you finish by 10 to the hour. Because Ray has a segment to do. Will you be able to stick around for Q&A?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
that's great.
absolutely.
Well, take it away. It's all yours. Your co-host. You can share the screen and take over.
All right. Well, first, thanks to Ron for inviting us. We think this Tech for Seniors on Mondays is just a great show. We usually come as attendees. It's it's hard to keep up with things these days. So you guys help.
And we appreciate all of you being here, and we applaud you for keeping learning.
For-
And that's really what it's all about here. So,
Lifelong learning.
okay.
And today it's about smartphone photography.
All right. Get right into it.
Yeah. Now I have an X across the big camera, but if you are a professional wildlife photographer, then yeah, you still want a big camera, but you might be surprised at the things the smartphone can do and the things that it can do that the big phone can't. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on today.
Okay. We are geeks, also known as
Oh.
propeller heads. Are you going to wear our hats?
Sure.
Okay. And you can tell we're geeks because we wear these silly hats. And another word for a geek is a propeller head. Did you know that? So we wear these silly hats, but we are technology geeks. We are not Geek Squad. We have nothing to do with Best Buy, although we do. And we're teachers. She is the real teacher. I have been known to do some teaching, but she's the real teacher.
He makes my teaching possible.
Okay.
And we are travelers, thus the geeks on tour.
All right. All our content is collected on our website, and it's geeksontour.com. And Chris made a class on the website, and
I want to show you this. So every time we do one of these presentations, we make a page on our website where you can review the materials. And here is our main website, just geeksontour.com. And if you scroll down, you will see a section called classes. And they are listed by date. So you can look here and see December 5, Tech for Seniors. And if you click that link, you will see the slideshow, all the materials that we used for this. And if you keep going back, you will see in April of 2022, we did a similar session for Tech for Senior. And if you want to review that, you might want to go look at, it's here somewhere. Anyway, I'm all the way back to 2021 here. Okay. And you can review what we taught that time. I will be repeating a little bit, but also adding a bunch of new stuff. So if you remember that past presentation, not to worry, there's more.
okay. Somebody's playing music.
Yeah. Oh, and just one little promotional thing here. Yes, Google Photos is our normal main topic. And we're doing something different this week. We're hosting a free webinar called Do More with Google Photos. I made that image, I made a little Christmas card, if you will, strictly using Google Photos, nothing else. So we'll be showing how to do that. And you do need to register if you want to come. It's Thursday at 2. Hope to see you there for Do More with Google Photos. So, smartphone photography. The one thing that keeps people using their big camera is if they want to have the good telephoto. So I just want to show you, I do have one. Now that's a lens.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big one.
But I'd never use this. And I want to show you how my Samsung S21 Ultra is just about as good. So next slide.
Okay.
So using the Canon with that big lens, first of all, the first picture there on the left is a wide angle picture of our, who's playing music?
Okay.
Okay. And the arrow is showing where I put one of my little propeller hats. Actually, the one I got married in. Yes, I did. All the way at the other end of the pool. You can't even see it. Setting the Canon with this lens all the way at its biggest zoom, I got the picture on the right. All right. Next. With the Samsung, I was able to go even further with the digital zoom. It goes, well, it goes from heavy duty wide angle to normal to 3 times zoom to 10x zoom optical. And then you can zoom in even more for digital. You can't do that on my Canon camera. Of course, you can crop it afterwards, but right in the camera, this is what Samsung allows. Let me show you just a second here, right on the camera. Now I can't show you through the camera lens, but you can just see where these lenses are. So this phone has 4 lenses, a super wide angle, a normal wide angle, a 3x zoom, and a 10x zoom. And the way you access them in your camera is just right here, 0.6, 1, 3, and 10. And if you're on 10, here you have even more. That's where I can go to 30 and 100. That's a little bit easier than having to unscrew this great big thing and carry around another lens and screw it on, right? All right, so that's how the Samsung works, and this is what it shows you. So with the Samsung S21 Ultra standing in the same spot, the first picture is the 0.6, the ultra wide angle. The next one is, all I had to do is tap the 1x. The next one, I tapped the 3x, then I tapped the 10x, and then I tapped the 100x. That's standing in the same position. Is that amazing or what? I just think it's amazing. So I'm just making an argument that if you've been telling yourself you still need to use a big camera because you want telephoto, maybe not. Now you will need one of the expensive phones that have the multiple lenses on the back, not one with just one. Oh, I meant to say, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We'll looking at the chat, and if there's something I think needs answering right now, I will. Otherwise, we will be sticking around for the Q&A section and we'll answer them then. All right, back to slides. So one thing that the big camera cannot do is panoramas, or I remember taking panoramas with my big camera. I had to go click, 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 then bring all those photos in and run them through a software program to stitch them together. But, and ready to play 463. Since the phones are both a camera and a computer, it does it all in one. And if you haven't ever used Panorama, I encourage you to give it a try. It's very easy and you get great results.
This is a quick tip on taking a panorama shot with an iPhone. The point is when the camera is not wide angle enough to get the whole shot in. You're going to miss a lot if you just take a picture. So drag the settings until it says pano. That means panorama. You're going to hold the phone vertical to get as much height as possible. Then you tap the little shutter button and follow the arrow across, panning across your whole photo. When you have it all, tap the shutter button again. It'll be a square. And now you can view the picture. I'm doing it using Google Photos, and you see a beautiful panorama shot of the whole scene.
So that was with the iPhone. And same thing works on an Android. We have another video on that. And this one is on an old Android. They all work the same. The button might be in a little bit different place.
And that is 778.
No,
No,
no, that's selfie. That's clean the lens is 778.
which one do we want?
It's the next one.
464.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a quick tip about taking a panorama photo using an Android phone. This is a Samsung Galaxy S5. You need panorama when the scene you want to capture is just too wide for a normal photo. This won't fit in one photo. It's not wide angle enough. In the Samsung, panorama is under mode. So tap mode, then panorama. Now you want to turn the phone vertical to give the photo as much height as possible, and you tap the shutter button to start the capture. Now watch the picture as it builds through that middle section. And when you have the entire scene captured, then you tap the shutter button again. It will have a square on it now. That's the indication that tapping it will stop. Now I press the home button to go back out to the main home screen. We can use Google Photos to take a look at the picture. And there it is, a beautiful panorama shot of the whole scene.
Okay.
All right, so use panorama. And something that people don't think about, they think a panorama means that you're in a sweeping mountain vista. It's great for indoor shots too, when you want to get everybody that's in the living room, but your wide angle doesn't get it. The panorama is a great thing for indoor shots. Next is selfies. You ever tried to take a selfie with one of these? I don't think that'll work too well.
No, I don't think so.
But what did you do with the big cameras? You set a timer, and then you put it on a tripod, and then you snap the shutter button and you turned around. Well, phones are great at taking selfies, but the timer is still useful.
All right.
I want to show you on an iPhone because it's kind of hidden on the iPhone. On the Androids, it's pretty good. On the iPhone, you have to tap on this little up arrow, and that reveals another line of tools. And that one that looks like a clock is timer. And I'm going to set it to 3 seconds. Now, what that means is I can tap the shutter button, and then I have 3 seconds to... Aren't you going to get it? Are you going to get in it?
Oh, do you want me in it?
Yeah. So I tap the shutter button, and now I have 3 seconds to position, which means you can hold, and if I did it for 10 seconds, it would have been even better, but you don't have to reach up and touch the shutter button and jiggle the phone. The other lesson here, though, is to clean the lens. Now, where is the lens for the selfie? Selfie is the front of the phone, and the lens is just a little dot up in the top. You need to make sure to clean that. And now I'm going to take a selfie again.
Okay.
So I tap the shutter button, and then I have 3 seconds. Okay. Now we'll show you those pictures. And this was just with a little iPhone SE. You know, it's an inexpensive little phone, but I love it. There is the picture with the dirty lens. There is the clean lens. Our #1 tip, clean the lens, because anything else can be fixed. And you can just take a t-shirt. I mean, a nice piece of microfiber is good, but t-shirt is fine. Clean the lens before you take a picture.
Okay, somebody asked, how do you use a regular camera tripod with a smartphone? Well, you get an adapter, and there are all kinds of smartphone holders that have a standard 1/4-inch tripod screw mount. It's not hard at all. And Ron, panorama, always hold the camera vertical. What about horizontal?
Well,
If you have a tree you want to take or a tall building, a waterfall, something like that.
The point in holding it vertical is if you are sweeping a wide panorama, it would be really, really, really skinny if you held your phone this way. Now, yeah, if you hold your phone this way, that's the right position if you're taking a vertical panorama.
Okay.
Okay. Next is probably my favorite. My favorite.
She has so many.
My favorite thing to show people, because a lot of people don't know this exists or what you can do with it. And that is taking live or motion photos. And I will do the video first here.
Okay.
Both the iPhone and the Android, at least my Samsung, can do motion photos. And then there's all sorts of stuff you can do with it.
Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and this tutorial video is about using Google Photos to capture the best frame from a motion photo. First, let me explain what I mean by a motion photo. On iPhones, it's in the camera and it's called live. It's that gold bullseye up there. When it's lined through, it's off. When it's there, it's on, and it means when you just take a photo, it captures 3 seconds of video also. On a Samsung phone, an Android Samsung, it's in the camera, and it's under settings, and it is called motion photos. If it's off, you're just taking a single frame, but if it's on, you are taking a couple seconds of video along with a single shot frame. So in Photos, first I want to bring up a motion photo and show you what I mean. So see this photo? In Google Photos, you can be viewing the motion in the photo, or you can be viewing just the still shot. So this is our friend Tom singing and playing guitar, and the still shot that it captures looks pretty dull. But if I play it, I love the spot where he leans back and opens his mouth, and that's the one that I want for the still shot. So here's what you do. You either tap the 3-dot menu, or you just swipe up on the photo, and you will see the shots in this photo. Just tap on that little film strip, and now you can drag the marker over until the shot you want is the one that's highlighted. I love that. Then save copy. Now I have just a single shot of the scene that I want. One more example. This one I took very specifically, asking Jim to blink a lot, and you can see then that the single shot that it captured has his eyes closed. But I can just swipe up, tap on the little film strip, drag over until I get a spot where his eyes are open. There. And that is how you make a single frame picture out of a motion photo or live photo using Google Photos.
You just showed it. Okay. So I just love that. I leave my phone on motion most of the time. Yes, the files are bigger because there's 3 seconds of video in it, but I think it's worth it. For example, especially when you're taking photos of people. When you're taking photos of people, this makes sure you have the best opportunity at the best shot. Let me show you an example. This is, we were at a party. At Jim's sister's house, and she is just such a great hostess. And I took this picture of her serving these champagne glasses, but she was turned away in this. Well, this is a motion photo. In Google Photos, I can see the motion by tapping that little play button. The picture was taken with the Samsung, but I'm viewing it in motion. So I can tell that somewhere in this 3 seconds, she's looking forward and has a great smile on her face. All I have to do is swipe up. Here are all the frames in that 3 seconds of motion.
Push it up more.
I can, okay. I can find the one where she's smiling nice and save copy. And that has now been saved to my library as a separate non-motion single JPEG video picture. And if you happen to have Samsung, let me show you how to do it there. In the gallery. So you can also, the gallery can also do this, not just Google Photos. And here is a picture I took earlier, and I have to tap View Motion. And I wanted to capture Jim right when he had his hand on the cap. But what got saved as the still is with his arm down. Well, I can just play it and it shows all this. I can get that. Right there is the picture I want. And this is the little button, the one that looks like a video play. I tap that and it has saved that one picture out as an image. So that's Android. Now I want to show you iPhone, and there's a slide on that because iPhone has some fun, different things that you can do with live photos, it's called, on the iPhone. So look at that. I just snapped a picture of a diver jumping into the water, but I had live on, so it gets 3 seconds. And I have my choice of looping those 3 seconds or bouncing those 3 seconds or long exposure. But let me first show you how in iPhone you would get a single frame. So now I am talking about the Apple photos, not the Google photos, on the iPhone, the Apple photos. And here is that picture. On Apple, you have to long press in order to see the motion. Okay, now I want to get my single shot when she's partway in the water. What you do is edit, and then you have to choose the motion button in order to edit the motion. And now I can find there. I wanted it as she's a big splash, and make key photo. Now that is the photo that you see when you look through your camera roll. But then the other things, that's a straight live photo. If you tap the little down arrow, there's loop. And she will just continue to keep jumping in the water and re-jumping in the water and re-jumping in the water. And there is bounce. She jumps in, she jumps back out. That's fun. Now, long exposure is just not appropriate for this picture. It's just a total blur. But if you have a picture of moving water, so there's, yeah, can you see that water moving? Then long exposure is what gives you that soft waterfall effect. I love that. I love that. There are times when I will get out my cheap little iPhone just so that I can take a waterfall picture and do it with live and make it long exposure. So I think that's everything on live and motion photos. Now, if you're taking a shot of a tree, then yeah, you don't need motion on it. But in order to not forget to turn it back on, I leave mine on most all the time. And somebody asks, can you then delete the rest of the captured motion photo? Yeah, if you have the photo you want and that's all you want, then you can delete the motion one afterwards, sure. Okay, now this is another, I showed you a fun thing on the iPhone. I have to show you a fun thing on the Samsung, and that is removing reflection. This is, I think, just amazing. So here's a photo I took out the car window, and look at all that reflection in there. It's really ruined the photo. I can use the pencil to edit. This is on Samsung Gallery, the photo editing that comes with the Samsung phone. 3 dots, and it's part of the object eraser, but it's a special part, erase reflections. Is that, I just think that is absolutely amazing. And it takes a worthless photo and makes it a good one. So that's just a special little tip on Samsung. And I think I just have one more. Yeah. So this is just a camera, right? This is a camera and a computer. So the computational abilities of this device can be brought to bear on the camera. And here is just one example. My Samsung has a feature called night mode. And when I am focused on a dark at night scene, it automatically goes into night mode, but I can turn it off. So the picture on the left is with night mode off. The picture on the right is with night mode on. Is that awesome? So my advice to you is just go through all the different settings on your device's camera and find out about them. There's lots of cool stuff. All right.
Well, did you learn something? Before taking a photo, always do what? Clean the lens.
Clean the lens.
True or false? If you take live motion photo, you can select a different frame for the still.
Absolutely. That's to me the main reason for taking live or motion photos.
True or false? For good telephoto pictures, you still need a big camera and lens.
Once again, if you're a professional wildlife photographer, then yeah, and you also need a good tripod. It's not easy to hold that still. The pictures I showed you, I did hand hold, because part of the computational stuff, it also can keep it from jiggling. But if all you're concerned about is how close you can get, my Samsung could get closer than my big phone with the big lens. I think we have another minute. Can we answer one of these questions?
Sure. Which one? What's the difference between taking a photo with your iPhone and iCloud and Google Photos?
Okay. If I take a photo with my iPhone, that photo is stored in the camera roll on the iPhone. One photo on the camera roll. If you have iCloud turned on, that photo from the camera roll is copied up to your Apple account. iCloud is Apple. And now you have two pictures, the one in the camera roll and the one in iCloud. If you also have Google Photos turned on, then that one picture is getting copied to your Google Cloud. Now you have three photos.
All right.
That's my story about that.
Well, I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we are Geeks on Tour. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much. That was oh, wow. All that information to process. I can hardly wait to get out with my camera and start taking pictures.
And you have a Pixel, right?
Yeah, it's Pixel 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
it has motion photos.
Yep. Yep. So, all right. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We have a whole bunch of people over on YouTube. We do have about 16 spots left. If you, we have to finish off on our YouTube feed now and say goodbye to our YouTube viewers. If you do want to come over to our Zoom meeting, Chris and Jim will be staying around, and we have room for you, and you can participate in the Q&A. Don't forget, at hour, we will have our premiere service, and I put the link in the chat for that earlier. So thank you for coming, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget, if you do want to watch our Thursday show, we will be talking about when is it time to upgrade your smartphone this Thursday, along with all the news of the week.